Have you ever been let down by someone you deeply cared about? Perhaps a woman whose opinion meant the world to you? Maybe it was a rejection or simply unmet expectations. The pain stings, right? But here's the twist. What if I told you the secret isn't in retaliating or sulking, but in calmly embracing the letdown? Yes, it sounds counterintuitive, but what if your calm acceptance becomes her biggest shock? Subscribe to the channel, it's free. Stick around to discover how the timeless philosophy of Stoicism can transform your response and maybe even change how she sees you forever. Act 1. The emotional fallout. The emotional fallout is the raw and immediate reaction you experience when someone lets you down, especially someone you deeply care about, like a woman you admire or love. This phase is defined by intense feelings of rejection or disappointment. The natural response in such situations is often driven by ego and emotional impulsiveness. You might feel the need to lash out, shut down, or demand answers to questions that only amplify your pain. Why did she do this? Or what's wrong with me? Breaking down the fallout. At its core, this stage is about understanding how the mind reacts when it feels threatened or hurt. Humans are wired to seek control and certainty, especially in relationships. When someone's actions shatter those expectations, it creates a void filled with doubt and often anger. Your first instinct might be to protect your pride by responding emotionally, whether through confrontation, withdrawal, or trying to win her back. But here's the catch. This emotional reactivity is precisely what keeps you trapped in the cycle of pain. It's predictable, and because of that, it's ineffective. The real opportunity lies in recognizing this moment as a test of emotional resilience. For example, let's say you've been dating a woman for a few months. Things seem to be going well, but one day she cancels a date last minute. When you ask why, she casually responds, "I just don't feel like going out tonight." No apology, no explanation, just indifference. Your immediate reaction might be frustration or hurt. You think, doesn't she respect my time? Am I not a priority? You're tempted to snap back with a sarcastic comment like, "Well, thanks for letting me know my time doesn't matter," or ghost her entirely in retaliation. But pause for a moment. What's really happening here? Your emotions are clouding your judgment, pushing you to act out of insecurity rather than strength. If you react impulsively, you're giving her power over your emotional state. Worse, you risk coming across as needy or overly sensitive, shifting the perspective. Instead, consider this. What if you reframe the situation? Her cancellation doesn't define your worth. It simply reflects her priorities at that moment. You can't control her actions, but you can control your response. By choosing not to react emotionally, you take back your power. For instance, instead of snapping back, you could reply with calm acceptance. "No problem. Let's catch up another time." This response is unexpected, mature, and communicates confidence. You're showing her that while you value her time, you're not dependent on it for your happiness. The power of composure. This phase is about recognizing that the emotional fallout is temporary, and your reaction is what shapes the narrative moving forward. By resisting the urge to act on impulse, you create space to respond with dignity. And when she sees that you're unshaken, it forces her to reconsider how she views you. As you move forward, remember, emotional fallout is inevitable, but how you handle it determines whether you spiral or rise above. Imagine someone spilling coffee all over you in public, and instead of yelling, you say, "Oh, great! Now I have my car seat." How would they even react? The same principle applies here. When you stay composed, you take back control. She expects anger, sadness, or confrontation. Your acceptance? That's a curveball. But how do you channel this composure when your emotions scream otherwise? Let's uncover the tools Stoicism provides. Act 2. The Stoic Mindset. The Stoic mindset is a philosophy of emotional mastery, rooted in the belief that you cannot control external events, but you can always control how you respond to them. It teaches us to focus on what lies within our control, our thoughts, actions, and reactions, while letting go of things outside our influence, like others' opinions or behaviors. Adopting this mindset allows you to remain composed in challenging situations and emerge stronger. This act is about shifting your perspective from victimhood to empowerment. Instead of seeing a setback as something that defines you, you treat it as a test of your emotional resilience. The Stoic mindset doesn't mean suppressing emotions. It's about acknowledging them without letting them dictate your actions. Key Stoic principles. 1. Dichotomy of control. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, then let it go. By focusing only on what you can influence, you conserve emotional energy and maintain clarity. 2. Framing adversity as an opportunity. Every challenge, including being let down, is a chance to grow. As Marcus Aurelius famously said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. 3. Responding, not reacting. When emotions run high, the Stoic mindset encourages a pause. This creates space to choose a thoughtful response rather than reacting impulsively. For example, imagine you've been texting a woman you're interested in and things seem to be going well. But one day, she suddenly stops replying with no explanation, no closure. You feel the frustration bubbling up. Why isn't she responding? Did I say something wrong? Should I double text her? This situation is a perfect test of the Stoic mindset. Instead of letting the silence consume you, apply the dichotomy of control. Can you control her decision to respond? No. Can you control how you interpret her silence and what you do next? Absolutely. Step 1. Reframe the situation. Instead of spiraling into self-doubt, shift your focus. Her silence is not about your worth. It's about her choices or circumstances. You might think she might be busy or dealing with something unrelated to me. Either way, I'll respect her space. Step 2. Channel your energy. Instead of obsessing over her response, redirect that energy towards something productive. Hit the gym, work on a project, or spend time with friends. This shift sends a powerful signal not to her but to yourself that your happiness isn't tied to someone else's actions. Step 3. Choose a thoughtful response. If you do decide to follow up, do it from a place of confidence, not desperation. For example, "Hey, I hope everything's okay on your end. Just wanted to check in." This response is calm, composed, and leaves the ball in her court. The unexpected power of Stoicism. By responding this way, you demonstrate emotional maturity. Women and people in general are drawn to those who don't crumble under pressure. While she may have expected frustration or over-eagerness, your calm acceptance disrupts the script, making her reconsider how she views you. But here's the real win. Even if she doesn't respond, you've maintained your dignity. You've chosen self-respect over emotional chaos, proving to yourself that you're stronger than external circumstances. The Stoic mindset isn't about suppressing disappointment, it's about transforming it. By mastering your response to challenges, you cultivate resilience, confidence, and emotional balance. These traits not only help you handle setbacks, but also make you more attractive and admirable in any relationship. Think of it this way. Your disappointment could be the motivational speaker you never hired. Thank you for the life lesson, disappointment. Now I'm ready to hit the weights. By now, you might be thinking, this all sounds good, but how do I actually respond in the moment without letting my emotions slip? Let's dive deeper into the power of acceptance. Act 3. Shock her with acceptance. Shocking her with acceptance is about responding to disappointment with composure and grace, an approach that defies expectations and demonstrates emotional maturity. When a woman lets you down, she likely anticipates frustration, sadness, or confrontation. By choosing calm acceptance instead, you disrupt the typical emotional script, creating an unexpected and powerful impression. This act is not about pretending to be unaffected or suppressing emotions. It's about truly understanding that her actions don't define your worth or happiness. When you accept the situation without resentment or desperation, you communicate confidence and self-respect. Why acceptance is so powerful? 1. It's unexpected. Emotional reactions are predictable. Acceptance is not. By responding calmly, you stand out as someone who is secure and self-assured. This composure can make her question her actions and reevaluate her perspective on you. 2. It demonstrates emotional strength. Acceptance shows that you're in control of your emotions. This is a hallmark of maturity and is inherently attractive. It signals that you're not easily shaken by external events. 3. It shifts the power dynamic. When you react emotionally, you hand over control of the situation. By accepting the letdown gracefully, you reclaim your power and set the tone for how the interaction progresses. For example, imagine you've been seeing a woman for a while and you're excited about where things are heading. One evening she sits you down and says, "I don't think this is working out. I need some space." In this moment, your heart sinks. The typical reaction might be to plead, argue, or ask for clarity. But instead you take a breath and say, "I understand. I respect your decision and wish you the best." Her reaction? Likely stunned. She expected resistance, perhaps even emotional turmoil. Your acceptance not only surprises her, but also leaves her with a sense of admiration for your composure. What happens next? If she truly needs space, your calm response leaves the door open for mutual respect. She may even reconsider her decision, as your acceptance communicates emotional independence. If her feelings aren't genuine, if her statement was a test to gauge your reaction, your maturity proves that you won't crumble under emotional pressure, which can elevate her perception of you. Why this works psychologically? When someone anticipates an argument or emotional outburst and doesn't get it, they're forced to confront their own actions. Your acceptance flips the narrative. Instead of focusing on your reaction, she starts reflecting on her own behavior. It highlights your emotional self-control, which can trigger admiration or even regret. When to use acceptance? This approach isn't about tolerating disrespect or suppressing genuine feelings. It's about recognizing when a situation is beyond your control and responding in a way that prioritizes your dignity and peace of mind. For example, she cancels plans last minute. "No worries. Let me know when you're free again." She ends the relationship. "I understand. I hope you find what you're looking for." She criticizes you unfairly. "Thanks for your perspective. I'll think about it." Real-world benefits of acceptance. 1. You keep your dignity. Regardless of the outcome, you walk away with your self-respect intact. 2. You leave a lasting impression. People remember how you make them feel. Your calm acceptance will stand out as a sign of emotional strength. 3. You focus on what matters. Instead of obsessing over her actions, you redirect your energy toward self-improvement and personal growth. Shock her with acceptance, because it's not just a response, it's a statement. It says, "I value myself enough to let go of what I can't control." Whether or not she reconsiders her decision, you've already won by prioritizing your peace and emotional strength. Remember, acceptance isn't about giving up. It's about moving forward with grace and confidence. By doing so, you not only transform the dynamic, but also set yourself up for healthier, more fulfilling interactions in the future. And here's the kicker. Your acceptance might just make her rethink her decision. But even if it doesn't, you've already won by maintaining your dignity. Ever notice how you can win an argument just by smiling and nodding? It's like emotional judo uses her expectations against her. Now that you understand the power of acceptance, let's look at how this ties into a woman's psychology and the signals she sends when she's truly interested in you. You've just learned how to turn disappointment into an advantage using Stoicism. But here's the exciting part. This is just the beginning. Want to dive deeper into understanding how women think? Check out my next video, 10 Clear Signs a Woman Thinks You're Attractive. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Your support helps YouTube recommend this content to more determined men who need to hear this message.